Good morning everybody, welcome to the Nine Ladies Stones. So, you join me back in the Peak District on an absolutely beautiful spring day, where today we're doing the Nine Ladies Circular. Yeah, so there's lots of little interesting archaeological stuff to see in this walk, so yeah, should be good. Let's go. So the car park I stopped in, it's very busy with camper vans, so I was like to probably park up, but there's plenty of space. Yeah, so just right next to Birchover Quarry. Yeah, so the walk we're doing today, it's not the longest walk, it's only just under 4k, but there is a number of different archaeological sites along it and ruins. So yeah, so as we get to each one I'll tell you a bit more about them, and of course we'll end up with probably the most famous one around here, the Nine Ladies. Yeah, so this first section we're just walking up this road and looks like we turn off this and head up into the hills. Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful day here at the peaks. So looking at the map, it also looks like you can park just here as well. So what I'll do, I'll leave all the information on the screen as usual. Yeah, but look at that view. Looks like a bunch of lads are doing some wall camping there. Yeah, can't blame them though. So over here, looking at a view all night. Yeah, need to do some more wall camping. Ain't done anything in absolutely ages. What's so weird, like along the start of this route, there's just these like big massive piles of like rocks, boulders. So, one thing I've noticed about this route though, it's a busy old route, but it's not just walkers I've seen, actually it's like a lot of families doing this route. Yeah, it's nice to see. Not gonna lie, it's that hot today. Actually, I'm gonna have to get the t-shirt out. Yeah, actually nice actually to be out here when it's not raining or cloudy. Oh. So one thing about this route, obviously we're walking along to the main path here, but there's literally paths going off in literally every direction. Oh, there's another one there. There's one there. So if you didn't want to do obviously the main route, obviously this route I found are 4 trails, so like normal, I'll leave all the information in the description. You could literally go off in any direction. Have a well good explore around here. So the Nine Ladies Stone Circular was created by the Bronze Age people around 4,000 years ago. Although the people who built it and worshipped at the site are long gone, its excavative atmosphere remains. It's also extremely busy here, that's why I'm whispering. So I can understand now why they say it's the most well-known stone circle around this area. Yeah, very busy, and it looks like all the paths all join up to meet at the stone circles. Yeah, quite interesting. And over 4,000 years old. Crazy. Yeah, so we're going to carry on now, see what else we can see. So this is called the Duke of York stone. Ugh. Oh yeah, the skill into carving that. Yeah, crazy. So there are a number of different stones like this around the area. I'm gonna go have a look at a few of them. Yeah, so I was just doing some research on them while I just sat here. It looks like the stones were all associated with the Victorian era and improvements to the moor. How fascinating. Yeah, so we're just coming down now to another one of the stone carvings. So this one actually doesn't have a name, but yeah, so we're just now coming up towards the Earl Grey Tower. Let's go have a look at that. The Earl Grey Tower is also known as the Reform Tower, a monument commemorating the 1832 Reform Act. Yeah, so this is called the Cat Stone. Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure that's why it's called the Cat Stone. So if anyone has any ideas, please let us know in the comments. So I can't really seem to find much information about this one. So if anybody knows me or seen any previous videos, you know how much I do love walking in the peaks. But one thing that does annoy me about the Peak District, every time you think, oh look, there's a lovely view, there's like a quarry or a factory right in the middle of it. Like that one there. Yeah, it is annoying. But still, apart from that, if you just look slightly to the left, it looks like it's better. Yeah, and there's the quarry. Still, what an incredible view. Yeah, and this stone behind me is called the Duchess Sutherland. So when I was reading the old trials reviews for this walk, they said if you come up on clear days the views are amazing. Yeah, I'm definitely not lying. Also, the people in front of me, I think they're doing the exact same walk I'm doing, as I've literally seen them at every spot I've stopped at so far. Yeah, so just looking at this map, so there is quite a number of different cairns and circles. So obviously we went to Nine Ladies, there's look at another one there called North Circle, Central Circle, South Circle. So there's still loads I haven't actually seen over here. Yeah, definitely to come back here again and have a proper explore. So what you're looking at here is actually a Bronze Age cairn. It was used for so many reasons: burials, memorial chambers. Yeah, if you had no idea, you'd just think it was just a pile of stones, but yeah, that is from the Bronze Age. Yeah, so we're just heading now to something called the Corkstone. See what that is? So this is the Corkstone. Yeah, so it actually looks like it's got handholds. Yeah, gotta have a go. Yeah, had to be done. But yeah, obviously, if you are going to climb it, just be careful, obviously. So when I was just on top of the Corkstone, I noticed this in here, and it looks too obvious just to be a random stone just lying flat on its own. It's more like an altar or something. Yeah, that's not definitely just naturally there. No idea what this is. Yeah. So if anybody does know the history around this place, please let us know. Yeah, so while I was up by the corkstone, this woman came up and she started hugging the corkstone, and she started talking to me about, do I feel the spiritual and the energy from the area and from the stone? So I've never really been into that kind of thing, like feeling energies or stuff like that. I do more like the history and like the architectural history of the places. But yeah, it was just quite fascinating hearing her talk about how these different stone circles she's been to, and how when she stands in them she feels the energy. Yeah, it's quite fascinating talking to her. Yeah, so almost back at the car now. Yeah, just down here. Yeah, so we're back on the road now, just heading back down to the car. Yeah, the Nine Ladies Circular Walk, really quite interesting, especially if you enjoy archaeological history. Yeah, really quite fascinating, and the walk itself really busy, really popular. The paths are really good. Yeah, so definitely worth checking out. Yeah, so if you can do us a favour, if you can like, subscribe, it really does help the channel. And I'll see you all next Saturday at 6. See ya.